This week, Chris Edmonds and I are going solo, so to speak, to discuss a trend that we're seeing not just in workplace culture, but in society in general. And it is something that you culture leaders might relate to. And that is what we perceive to be the lack of accountability for not just culture, and not just leadership or failures in leadership, which happens to everybody, but in personal responsibility. And this was brought on in part because of a movie that is creating some controversy in the world today, the Odyssey, and how some sectors in the world see it as a woke and some see it as the director pounding a message into our heads. And my wife and I had a chance to see the Odyssey Sunday evening, and I had a completely different reaction. My reaction was that the protagonist in the movie, in the end, has no choice but to accept responsibility for his personal actions. And it struck me as odd, and I spoke with Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
I Chris Edmonds about this and said, maybe I'm the one that's disconnected here. I appreciated the message of I messed with the rules of life message and I'm paying for it and I should pay for it. And that is a much different message than I'm seeing in the news and I'm seeing amid all the controversy. So I said, Chris, we got to talk about this. Yes, it's a popular movie. It's not going to change the world in any way. But this is a message that is strong and powerful, and yet is being just stomped on by some in the media who are picking on the movie for lots of other reasons other than the primary message that I got from the movie. So, Chris, I know you haven't had a chance to see the Odyssey yet, but when you and I talked about this, we definitely talked about, yes, the lack of accountability, the lack of accepting responsibility for our own actions is a societal and workplace trap.
Absolutely. And I've been blessed to be working in the leadership development space for, holy God, 45 years. And accountability has always come up as we've engaged with senior leaders. Why do you want us to come in? What are you looking for us to help resolve from a business culture, leadership, production standpoint? And almost 100% of the time, it was accountability, that we just don't have people delivering what their jobs require. So of course we dive in and do the, well, what have you tried? And, are there consequences? Big theme of mine around consequence management, but it's no worse today than it has been for 40 plus years in my experience. So the idea of, and I definitely need to see the movie, but the idea of personal responsibility in society, business, home, etc., is not talked about very often. And I think it's a very powerful lever opportunity.
Well, and our guests so far on the podcast, Chris, this has definitely been a transition. I mean, we've done, either in the can or published almost 20 episodes now. And almost every one of those episodes, the word accountability, even the thought of accountability has come up, and it starts with the leaders.